What does the President, Supreme Court, and the Congress all have in common? They are all three branches of the government. What are the three branches of the government? They consist of the legislative, the executive, and the judicial. Each have separation of powers, which doesn't allow one group to overpower the rest of the groups. This is called checks and balances. How are they different? Each covers different parts of the government. The legislative deals with the House of Representatives and the Senate. The executive works with the White House and the President, and the judicial is made up of the Supreme Court. The legislative branch is established by Article 1. The House of Representatives from the legislative branch. It's made up of 435 members, which are divided by the 50 states' population. They are elected every 2 years, and they must be 25 years old, a U.S. citizen for 7 years, and a resident of the state that they are representing. They have the power to initiate revenue bills, impeach federal offices, and they get to elect the president in case of an electoral college tie. The Senate also helps from the legislative branch. It's composed of 100 senators, two from each state. They are elected every 6 years. They must be 30 years older, 30 years or older. They must be a U.S. citizen for 9 years, and they must be a resident of the state that they represent. The Vice President serves as President of the Senate, and they can cast and decisive vote at a time. They confirm the President's appointments, which require consent to ratify treaties. They work with the House of Representatives on impeachment. The Constitution allows the legislative branch to declare war. They can confirm or reject the President's ideas, which together they form the Congress. Congress has to have majority votes in order to confirm the President's wishes. The next branch is the executive branch, and it's under Article 2. The powers of the executive branch lie in the hands of the President. He is the head of state and the commander-in-chief of the armed forces. He is responsible for implementing and enforcing laws written by the Congress. The Vice President is also with the executive branch. He has to be ready in case something happens to the President. The Cabinet and independent federal offices are also responsible for day-to-day enforcement, like the Department of Defense, Environmental Protection Agency, and Social Security Administration. The executive branch employs almost 4 million Americans. The third branch is the judicial branch, which is under Article 3. This deals with the Supreme Court, which determines the shape and structure of the federal judiciary. They establish courts below the Supreme Court. This is where they try most cases. There are 13 United States Courts of Appeals which review appeal district court cases. Federal judges can only be removed from impeachment by the House of Representatives and conviction in the state. They have no fixed term. They serve until death, retirement, or conviction by the Senate. Courts only try actual cases and controversies. This means they don't issue opinions of laws where legality of the ruling would have no practical effect. They have the sole power to interpret the law, determine the constitutionality of the law, and apply it to individual cases. Here the courts enforce evidence and testimony by subpoena. Once the Supreme Court interprets a law, lower courts must apply it. The Supreme Court's interpretation of the facts of a particular state. In conclusion, each set of the branches work for different parts of our government. The legislative branch makes laws, the executive branch enforces laws, and the judicial branch interprets laws. By having all of them with so much power, we need checks and balances so that one doesn't become too powerful. This is how the U.S. government stays in the
Oh, I gotta get this done.
Yeah,